Hi everybody and welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel. Just before we get into the video, if you do enjoy today, please do hit the like button and let YouTube know that something good is happening on this channel. And if you're new and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell, which will then notify you when we do go live or we upload a video. Thank you very much. Now into the video. Jack Harrison, of course, Newcastle United have been very interested in him recently, and reports have it this morning that we've had a bid turned down for Jack Harrison and that the valuation of the player is worlds apart between the two clubs. Now, Jack Harrison for me would be a very good signing. I liked what I saw for him last season on Leeds' left-hand side. Now, where would he play for us? Would he play on the left? Would he play on the right? Would he swap over with Maxi from time to time? It would probably solve a winger position. Is he good enough? I think he is. I liked what I saw from Jack Harrison last season. And again, under the leadership of Eddie Howe, he could certainly improve. But the problem we've got here is the valuation again. Newcastle United don't think he's worth the money that Leeds United do. And of course, Leeds United, they've lost Rafinha, Calvin Phillips this summer. They want to get enough money in that they can replace these players. So you can't really blame Leeds. And I've seen some people on various social media platforms now getting a little bit frustrated that the owners aren't paying what these players are worth. Saying that, you know, to be successful in the Premier League, in Europe, etc., you've got to pay the big bucks for the top players. And to a degree, I agree with that, but also I don't agree with these clubs bumping 10, 15 million pounds onto prices of players just because it's Newcastle United. I think it's wrong. You know, just because they know we've got lots of money behind us, it doesn't mean that they can put a valuation of a player up that much. So I understand where the owners are coming from, not wanting to be pushed around. But at the same time, I also get it that, you know, to get these big players in, we have to start paying the big bucks. There's no doubt about that. But again, it's a steady process with Newcastle United. And once we get to the stage where we want to be, I'm sure that's when the big bucks will start to be paid. So there's a little leeway got to be here. We've got to meet in the middle sometimes with the clubs. And certainly with Leeds United over Jack Harrison, I do believe that, you know, hopefully an agreement can be made where they can meet in the middle somewhere. But the reports this morning saying that they're still miles apart on any valuation for the player. Now, Eddie Howe, of course, and his squad are heading out to Portugal today for the second part of their pre-season build-up, where they'll take on Burnley behind closed doors. And, of course, the mighty Benfica on Tuesday night at the Stadium of Light, the real one. Now, what Eddie Howe has stated was he was hopeful for a couple of additional signings before they went to Portugal, which is very interesting because he was very coy about that when he was over in Austria. When he was asked about new players coming in, he didn't really say much, but he's told the Chronicle that he wanted some new players in before we went, possibly one or two. But what he is going to start doing now is focusing on the final third of the pitch. Because against Mainz, and I think everyone will agree, we played okay against Mainz. Certainly first half, closing down, passing it around, keeping possession. It was good to see. But when we got into that final third, we kind of failed. And, you know, it ended up being very, very disappointing. But he wasn't too bothered about the defeat. He was happy with the performance. But he has said that now they're going to start focusing on the final third. So whether we see anything, obviously the Burnley games behind closed doors, but whether we see against Benfica a real attacking unit who are going to start shooting the ball, crossing the ball in, because that has to be improved as well. But I'm sure Eddie Howe, Tyndall and etc. are aware of that because of what they saw against Mainz. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a difference once we see them against Benfica next week. Now, Elliot Anderson, of course, is basically said he wants to stay at Newcastle next season. This is good news for me because it just proves that he's not too keen on going back out on loan. He said he wants to force his way into the first team. And I think he's good enough to be there. I think he should be in the first team. I have no doubts in my mind that this kid is good enough. You know, it doesn't matter about his age. If he's good enough, put him in there. And he can only get better when he's around the likes of Bruno, etc. You know, these quality players. Rather than going out on loan to a championship team, playing with lesser known players, you know, he's got an opportunity at Newcastle to really improve under the players that are already there. And listen, against Mainz, he was fantastic. Tackling, shooting, dribbling. He was everywhere on the pitch during that first half, and it was great to see. So I'm just hoping that he's really made Eddie Howe look up and think, you know, this kid is going to be a real positive for us next season. Rather than ship him out on loan, he wants to force his way into the team. He's told the Chronicle that he wants to be a big part of it, and hopefully he will be. Now, on Dwight Gayle, Of course, I did a video a couple of days ago that Dwight Gayle was interested in 5 clubs in the Championship, but what looked like a loan deal. But since then, Stoke City have come in and have offered him the chance to move there permanently. There is reports that Newcastle United are going to waive the transfer fee and just get it done on a free, which, of course, gets a massive wage off our wage bill and frees up a lot more money. We know that Dwight Gayle has a really good strike rate in the Championship. For me, he's always been a Championship calibre striker, but he will do really well at Stoke, I think. And what I like about this deal is Newcastle United not pushing for a transfer deal. They wouldn't get much anyway, let's be honest. And we get him off the wage bill. This is a player who's been hanging around for 2-3 years now, not getting any first-team action, happy to pick up a wage. A lot of criticism has come his way, thinking, right, if he wanted to play football, why hasn't he gone elsewhere? He's happy to sit in his arse and pick up this massive wage at Newcastle United. That looks like it's all coming to an end now, and he can go to Stoke and get his career revived again and start scoring goals in the Championship. And finally, of course, Newcastle United interest in Benjamin Sesko from RB Salzburg. That one seems to be taken fruition quite well, and we just have to wait and see what happens with that. But we will be covering him more on tonight's transfer show with myself, Billy and Alex. So make sure you're there 8 o'clock tonight. If you're watching this on Thursday, of course, don't miss it, because we will be covering his stats, etc., and what he could bring to Newcastle United. A young kid, but a very, very exciting striker, and could be somebody that can stand in for Callum Wilson should he get injured, because we know the situation with Chris Wood, which is dire. But there you go, guys. That is the latest news at the moment. And of course, like I said earlier on the show, if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and let YouTube know that something good is happening on this channel, because it does push us up the search results. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified of every time we upload or we go live. Plenty of live shows and videos on the channel coming up and throughout the season, so make sure you're involved in that. Any news from Newcastle United, we'll bring it to you here first on the Toon Review. But thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care.